The lies about January 6th were coming from him, and so is the cover-up. And you notice he was all mad there. Well, he stayed mad, no matter what he was talking about.
That's America. That's you, the American people. It's because of you America's coming back. It's because of you our future is brighter. It's because of you.
It's because of you our future is brighter. And he's yelling and he's mad. Every little so-called upbeat line brought on the same kind of fury.
Above all, I see a future for all Americans. I see a country for all Americans. And I will always be president for all Americans because I believe in America. I believe in you, the American people. You're the reason we've never been more optimistic about our future than I am now. So let's build the future together. Let's remember who we are. We are the United States of America.
This is the opposite of a motivational speaker, right? He is demotivating people. He's freaking them out. This is not inspirational. This is just angry and weird. One more.
America, the land of possibilities. You need a vision for the future and what can and should be done.
The land of possibilities, damn it. All right, so I hear that's a symptom possibly of a condition he might have, may or may not have. Everybody's talking about the Laken Riley moment. You know about Laken, the 22-year-old woman who was murdered by an illegal immigrant who should have been never let into the country, but was let go by federal authorities in Texas and then again local authorities here in New York City after he threatened a child, allegedly. Wow. Anyway, I saw something during that Laken moment that I know you did too, or maybe you didn't. Take a look.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really. Laken Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand.
No, you don't. He's talking about the children he lost in a car accident in 1972. He talks about them, quite frankly, forgive me, way too much. But that was a car accident. Car accidents happen every day in America since the invention of a car, and we keep driving. No one's calling for the repeal of cars. We need them. But his policies directly led to the death, as we all know, of this young woman. He was ready for this. He used it as a prop. He used her name literally as a prop, not to mention, yes, getting it wrong. But look at this. I noticed when he heard Marjorie Taylor Greene going there about Laken Riley, there was a small smile. He was ready. I'm going to turn the tables on the Republicans. Anyway, it's Laken, not Lincoln. How could he mess that up on that stage? I will be honest, the first time I heard the name, I was briefly confused right here before the show. I got it straight. He's doing the State of the Union. He's the president. He can't get it straight. We heard from Laken Riley's mother on Facebook. She's not happy. Biden does not even know my child's name. It's pathetic. If you are going to say her name, even when forced to do so, at least say the right name. Of course, of course. Hey, but at least we have a strong media, especially a strong conservative media, to note these things and to call them out when they happen. That did not happen on Fox News. My jaw dropped. I was going around the dial, and they're providing commentary about the speech. What just happened? And here's what Martha McCallum of Fox News say happened, but it didn't happen.
Where he said he would use executive orders when it came to police reform. Did mention Laken Riley, exchanged back and forth with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was wearing a T-shirt that said, say her name. Did mention her name, sent condolences to the family.
Okay. he botched the name. Was Martha chit-chatting with Brett at the time? I mean, they fly him down there, they get him hotel rooms, you're a paid observer, and you missed that? Or are you just covering for the Bidens, as a lot of folks at Fox News tend to do, don't they? All right, then there was this moment.
4 years ago next week, before I came to office, the country was hit by the worst pandemic and the worst economic crisis in a century. Remember the fear, record losses. Remember the spikes in crime and the murder rate, raging virus that took more than 1 million American lives, of loved ones, millions left behind. A mental health crisis of isolation and loneliness. A president, my predecessor, failed the most basic presidential duty that he owes to American people, the duty to care. I think that's unforgivable.
Glad somebody said something. He said that's unforgivable. Number one, Joe brags about being a devout Catholic, brags about knowing the Pope. The word unforgivable is not a word that Christians should be all that familiar with. There's almost nothing conceivable that is unforgivable. Yet he is lying about Donald Trump, who displayed immense compassion, and not fake compassion, but the compassion where he wants people to do something. He wants to save the country. As this thing was taking off, the fake news was there saying, oh, no, it's not a big deal. Listen to this exchange.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've also said that at one point that you thought more people might die from the economic tragedies and the economic problems in America due to the coronavirus outbreak. What health officials are telling you that? And Dr. Fauci, could you speak to that, the idea that there might be mental health and suicide related to this? Would that outpace at some point the virus's impact on this society?
Well,
Thank
I could
you.
ask Dr. Fauci to come up, but it's common sense. You're going to have massive depression, meaning mental depression. You're going to have depression in the economy also, but you're going to have mental depression for people. You're going to have large numbers of suicides. One day they have nothing. They've gotten wiped out one day from our enemy, this invisible, horrible scourge. So when you ask me that, it's so easy to figure that. I mean, massive drug use, massive depression, mental depression, massive numbers of suicide. Anxiety causes, disease, they say.
He was totally right. It's amazing, the fake news. Well, we have not heard that yet from Dr. Fauci. How can you say such a thing? He's using his talents, his brain. Everything he said did happen, and he didn't want it to happen. He's working to get this country up and running, as Fauci telling everybody to hide under the couch. Also, Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine. I want peace, don't you? He seems to want this war to go on forever. And of course, he's lying about his predecessor. Wouldn't say Trump, but kept on saying predecessor.
My predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, do whatever the hell you want. That's a quote. A former president actually said that, bowing down to a Russian leader. I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable.
All right. Donald Trump did not say that to Putin, all right? He was talking about negotiating with our NATO allies to give the certain proportion of their GDP to their defense, right? We can't have NATO if countries are not paying into the defense of their country. You have to have a worthy military partner to be in our military alliance. It was a negotiating technique. He didn't say that to Putin. You want to know who gave Putin the green light? Putin, go ahead and invade Ukraine? He did. Joe Biden did. Just a few days before the invasion actually happened.
And I'm not so sure he is certain what he's going to do. My guess is he will move in. He has to do something.
My guess is he will move in. He's got to do something, Putin. After all, he moved his tanks all the way down there to the border with Ukraine. He's got to do something. What about saying, don't do this, don't cross the line or else? Obama and Biden not good at establishing red lines to not move across, right? And Here's more weakness. Weakness. What's going to happen here? Oh, we might think about sanctioning him in some way, shape, or form.
So I'm going to begin to impose sanctions in response far beyond the steps we and our allies and partners implemented in 2014. And if Russia goes further with this invasion, we stand prepared to go further as with sanctions.
Oh, I'm sure that did not freak Putin out. This is why most Americans believe that the invasion of Ukraine would not have happened under President Trump. With President Trump in office, Putin wouldn't have done it. Remember, Putin got a good look at Biden in Lake Geneva just a few months before he invaded. Does Biden look tough there, right? No, he looks like a compromised goofball. More from last night that really, the dishonesty, it infuriates me, and that he gets away with it. The fake news just says that this is okay. It's not.
Last year, the murder rate saw the sharpest decrease in history. Violent crime fell to one of its lowest levels in more than 50 years.
Murder. I've never seen anybody killed in my life outside of war. Have you? Right? Most people don't see shootings or murder. What we are all seeing is legalized shoplifting. We are seeing this, and it is redefining society. It has been essentially legalized. There are gang assaults happening in broad daylight. The country is falling apart, in large part thanks to Black Lives Matter and what happened after that. This man went on a rampage at a McDonald's with an axe. He was out on the street 3 hours later. Pretty amazing, isn't it? America's falling apart. We all know it. He tried to say we're safer now than in a half century. These are lies. And this I think is a threat. This, I think, is illegal.
It's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following, and with all due respect, justices, women are not without electoral power. Electoral or political power. You're about to realize just how much you're right about that.
The Supreme Court is going to find out how much political power women have? Well, what is that supposed to mean? What are they supposed to make of that? What is going through the mind of Justice Kavanaugh? You know, this man has been so threatened. They actually unleashed a mob on his front lawn, which is in violation of federal law. You're not allowed to protest outside of a federal judge's home because the thinking is you might influence his decision, and I think that's what they want to do. You know, a man showed up with a bag full of weapons. Yeah, wanted to kill Justice Kavanaugh. I noticed when the president there laid into the Supreme Court justices, Schumer was clapping. He thought that was just great. Ooh, isn't that nice, laying into the Supreme Court? You are all about to find out just how much power women in this country have. Remember when he said this?
I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you.
That statement is worse than anything that was uttered by any public official on January 6th. That right there is a crime. And it looks to me like they're trying to set up poor Justice Kavanaugh.